Just basically saying, yeah, we did it, just keep your fucking mouth shut.
How mad would that be?
You Photoshop it, blah, 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 blah. Suck him up, I was fucking... Yeah.
There's a page. Go check it out. You tell us for a while, can't you?
Welcome back to another episode of Myths and Mysteries in Black and White with you two hosts, Josh and Ed.
Hello.
Ed, question for you.
Yeah.
If you had to survive, you win £3 billion.
£3 billion.
Yeah. If you survive 24 hours being chased by any villain from a TV show or a film, what villain are you picking? If you survive, that is.
Oh. Who's really slow? Oh.
I thought outside the box for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because technically it is a villain in a film.
I think the bad guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Because he
Yeah.
he only went after toons.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I'm not a toon.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Thought outside the box. Fair play.
Yeah.
I'll pick the shark from Jaws.
Just stay on the
Just
beach.
stay on the land. Can't fucking get you then, can he? So, outplayed, mate.
Oh, cool. Fucking hell, I wasn't expecting that. Fair play, fair play.
But no, as you can tell by the title, this week we are talking about... what's his name again? The reptile man?
Well, just lizard man.
The lizard man.
Yeah.
And also we're going to be sort of linking it in between the pair of us, which
Yeah.
is what we just said is like, it's sort of linked between the two because obviously there's one major conspiracy theory out there that is lizard people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get how, quite honestly. It's not one I personally believe in,
Yeah.
but...
I mean, like, another name for them is, like, humanoid reptiles or reptilians
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like, you could go the whole shebang.
plethora with it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, should be a good episode. So, I think, obviously, it's your topic, so I feel like you should start first.
Okay,
So, Ed, take it away. What is the Lizard Man?
I just want to say before we do start, apologies for no episode last week. I was hanging on for dear life, trying to survive. It sounds bad because all it really was a cold, but that knocked me for 6.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get how much shit can come out of one person. It is absolutely ridiculous, and honestly, I could barely stand up. I was in a rough way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I must say I apologise for that.
But you're all good now, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'm on the back end of it. I'm still bringing up
Crap.
but a lot better.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot better. But you know, it's what it is.
Game is the game.
Show must go on. And also, I just want to say, like, me and Josh are working on things.
Mm-hmm. We are indeed.
And we worked on some yesterday. And we are both very, very excited for the concept.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it.
It probably will take a while before it starts to come out. But
And it's not going to be a regular thing.
no.
Because as much as I think we'd love
it. It's just obviously it's time consuming and obviously people have families,
it's
jobs, all that
it's
kind
a
of
lot
stuff.
of planning.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think, you know, if it gets traction, we think it will, we hope it will, then hopefully we'll be able to do it more often.
Exactly.
But if you know, you know. And I'll just say, like, I think I'm just as excited about this, like what we was doing yesterday, than when we first started doing the podcast.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like that little, like, I want to be out there now.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hang in there.
And
We're doing things.
Yeah.
We're doing some really cool things.
Watch this space.
Yeah. But yeah, so as you heard last week and what Josh just said, we're talking about lizard men or reptilian humanoids or whatever. Let's say there's mad conspiracies about lizard men, but the part I'm going to cover is more from a cryptid or like an animal base. And I mean, like, it's not like we don't have like massive lizards in the world anyway. I mean, like thing always comes to my head. It's the Komodo
Come
dragon.
on, yeah, exactly.
And the Komodo dragon, which was classed as a cryptid. Like, when I speak to people about cryptids and that, and they automatically think of like Bigfoot, Nessie, stuff like that. They say that cryptids aren't real. I was like, hang on.
Well, let me give you some information.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Years ago, the Komodo dragon was classed as a cryptid.
Mm-hmm.
The mountain gorillas, they were classed as cryptids. The giant squid was classed as cryptids. You know, like animals that we all know well today.
But back then,
yeah, I mean, the difference is like back then, like exploration was still happening, it was still rife, and like the technology weren't there.
Yeah.
Which we do have now, but still, even to this day, like only 5% of the ocean is discovered.
So what's in the other 95?
Exactly, and like when we think of like woodlands, forests, jungles, and everything, like I think we mentioned it before. They've recently discovered a new species of anaconda.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Which is larger than the green
yeah.
anaconda, which is already discovered, and it is the largest snake in the world, and they've just discovered a bigger one.
Yeah. So it just goes to show you. Even with spiders, I know Australia, they discovered like one that's like bigger than this funnel web, didn't they?
Yeah.
So again, it just shows like even in today's society with like cameras and everything, like the whole world is being watched.
Steve Irwin discovered a turtle.
Did he actually?
Yeah, it's called Irwin's turtle.
Oh, well, there you go.
Years ago,
so it's like they're still finding stuff now.
Yeah,
so
and a lot of the time, it's usually plants, insects, small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say they just discovered this new anaconda.
Yeah.
What else? And I mean, anacondas are
massive.
What else could be out there?
Exactly.
And they say like, oh well, with drones and stuff like that, but drones can't, like, especially like in a lot of forested areas.
Yeah.
They can't maneuver inside.
Yeah, the trees will just take them out.
Yeah, inside. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is some smart drones out there.
Yeah.
But they make noise.
Yeah. Which frightens animals away.
Yeah, which I think people don't understand, because they just think, oh, there's a drone. We'll just get a drone, just fly it in there, and ain't got time.
Yeah, exactly.
Think of some cryptids and that. They might have real heightened sense of hearing. A lot of them must do because of
I'm not being funny.
Evading human interaction.
You look at things like bats and that; they literally have sonar.
Yeah,
like radar sort of detection. So it's like they hear something like that coming, they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. So what makes me think is like with drones, like you can hear them a mile off.
Yeah.
They got time. They can get away.
And I'm not being funny. Going on that, like with people saying, "Well, they've got drones, they can find it." Well, how come a drone didn't find this anaconda then?
Mm.
How come a drone didn't find the Komodo dragon? I know they weren't a thing then, but do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I enjoy people being skeptics because it kind of makes me want look into it further.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you say, think a bit outside the box. And I mean, like, because they say, like, oh, that just sounds daft. But when you think of the animals we know today, how daft they can be. Like you say, bats have sonar. Dolphins can use echolocation.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like, stuff what you don't know is natural. What you always think, like, with echolocation, you think of submarines.
Yeah,
and stuff
exactly.
Like that. Stuff that is man-made.
Yeah.
But
a dolphin naturally just has that.
The natural world has that. And it just sounds so bizarre.
Exactly. So, if, like...
Sharks have 6 senses.
Exactly.
They can pick up electrical pulses off the tip of their snout.
Well, this is what I mean, and these things have been around way longer than we have.
Yeah.
And
older than bones.
Exactly.
Sharks are.
So, but it just, again, it goes to show, it's like, if animals that we've known for years have this sort of stuff, what does the stuff that we don't know?
Exactly.
What do they have?
Exactly. So, you know, of course,
just take it with a pinch of salt.
Went on a bit of a rant there, man. Just so I'm guardian of the cryptids.
He's got your back.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about lizard man. The term lizard man is not specific to one specific cryptid. Instead, it is used to describe a broad spectrum of bipedal hominid-like reptilian men, sometimes referred to as Homo subterreptus or saurians. Sightings of lizard man are reported all over the globe, including the Nchulo of South Africa, and I will go through all of these individually.
Mm-hmm.
The Nchulo of South Africa, the Cherufe lizard man of South America, the New Jersey gator man, and the Loveland Frogman of Ohio.
He got the short end of the straw, didn't he?
The Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp, which is one I think I spoke about. Canadian Lizard Man, Nagas from India, Kapas of Japan, and there are others. And on the TV show, which I love, but not a lot of people like it, but I love it, Mountain Monsters.
No, right.
They did an episode that there is supposedly a lizard demon that roams the rivers running through Wood County, West Virginia.
West Virginia, man. Honestly.
Yeah, I know, but I do think it was fabricated.
Yeah, I imagine so.
100%. And because there's the lizard demon. There was a dragon as well.
Just the works.
Yeah. But so first we'll go with the Nchulo of South Africa.
Oh, okay.
Its first sighting was 40,000 years ago.
Fuck me.
And its last sighting was unknown.
Ah. So I know exactly when it was first seen, but I don't know when it was last seen.
Yeah, so it could have been yesterday. It could have been 39,999 years ago.
Could have been half hour ago.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't know. There are no extensive or detailed descriptions of Nchulo, the legendary lizard man of both Xhosa and Zulu folklore. Most contemporary visual accounts speak only of as a lizard-like creature with human characteristics. A single vague sentence that leaves more questions in regard to this bear's physical attributes than its answers. Nevertheless, this does not deter speculation among eager modern cryptozoologists and enthusiasts who seem convinced that this is the infamous figure of the myths of the Nguni, a southeastern arm of the great Bantu family and common ancestors of both the Xhosa and Zulu mythology. Is actually an unusual primate of some kind that displays certain strong, pronounced, bizarre reptilian physical characteristics, making him a distant relative of the elusive gator men that are said by some to dwell in the swamps of the US, or perhaps even legendary Saurons.
Some big words in there.
Yeah. Oh, God. In the beginning, the sky god, Nkulu. It's debatable whether he was actually true divinity, since the Zulu make no clear distinction between the all-creator and the first father of the people, descended from to the primordial reed bed. Ulanga. Oh, the reed bed Ulanga. Sorry. Oh, I've got people messaging me all sorts. Breaking of all the reeds, he gathered every single one of them into two pairs. Out of each pair of reeds sprung a man and a woman. There may just as easily have been only one pair of the first man and woman, and women brought into creation. Here too, the traditional accounts leave much to the translator's imagination. Thus did the ancestors come into existence. Then he proceeded to fill and populate the jungle with every manner of beast, and the rivers and the lakes with every kind of fish. After his great efforts of creation were finally over, he taught the ancestors how to till the soil and rear animals. Time passed, and the question of mortality finally come to pose itself to Nkulu, who put... I thought I'd done that well.
It's just a funny word.
It is a funny word. Who pondered for some length of time on whether death should have to be a matter that his creations would have to grapple with. Decided in the negative, he finally sent the chameleon Lunwaba to proclaim to men that death would never be visited on them, and so his emissary set forth on his mission. But Lunwaba was not swift and timely, making his slow, trembling way across the great distance as he always had, never once picking up his pace, and even stopping every now and then to feast on the delectable shrubs of the bush called Ubukwa Ubuk Webzadi. In the meantime, for some reason that has yet remains unknown to mortal kind, Unkulu had changed his mind about granting immortality to his earthly children. A new message had to be carried, and so he summoned the blue-headed demon being Inchulo, commanded him to convey his new command, that death would befall mankind, and with those instructions he dispatched Inchulo. Unlike Lunwaba, Inchulo did not disappoint his master. Swift and quick, he quickly reached his destination, while Lunwaba still persisted on stating the distractions that the latter met with on their path. And these words did the lizard man speak to the race of mortals. Let death befall each and every one of creation. Let every man and every beast, both tame and wild, succumb to death. Inchulo is reviled by the tribes. Reveled. Inchulu is revelled by the tribes of South Africa as the cause of death and mortality among mankind, and is treated as such. To see the blue-headed Inchulo slither into any Zulu hut is immediately denounced as an ill omen of impending doom. So is he kind of like the Grim Reaper?
It sounded like that, yeah.
But he's cool, he's a lizard man.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the Grim Reaper looks sick as fuck with his big hood and that. But you imagine, like, you're just sitting there and this fucking great, like, monitor lizard on two legs comes running out.
Yeah. It's just like, well, that's it, I'm done for.
Well, it is what it is. So next, we're going to have a look at the Shufre lizard man of South America. Shuruffe? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Shuruffe is a humanoid reptilian creature reported to live in volcanic environments. It's said that Shuruffe inhabit the magma pools found deep within Chilean volcanoes and are the source of earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Will people leave me alone today? People don't talk to me during the week, but no, I'm actually doing so. Oh, sorry. Shuruffe are also said to be the source of magician's ardent, stones, meteorites, and volcanic stones that cause damage in volcanic regions. The only way to abate the Shuruffe's appetite for destruction was to satiate the beast's taste for human flesh by throwing a sacrificial victim into the bowels of its volcanic home.
Jesus.
Much like the European dragon. The Shuruffe's preferred delicacy came in the form of virginal maidens. Again, why the third? No wonder this day and age we have young girls deflowering themselves at a young age. It's because they keep getting told stories.
Sacrificial lambs to everyone.
Yeah. Oh, you're a virgin, so you're going to get eaten by a dragon. Sod this, I'm going to go and see the little farm boy up the road. He's going to give me a good old Rogering. So I don't have to. Do you know what I mean? Like, who's the idiot? The virgin or the bike? Poor fuckers. Legend oh dear. Legend has it that once a Shuruffe was finished consuming the more delicate portions of its victims, it would delight in a macabre game in which it would ignite the disembodied heads of the young girls who were sacrificed to it and hurtle them from the mouth of its volcanic home. He's fucking mental. The mythological origins of this beast may have originated to explain anomalies of geological events such as volcanic eruptions. Cryptozoological investigators also consider the possibilities that the legends of the Shuruffe may be based, albeit loosely, on sightings of an actual biological entity which would have to be capable not only of surviving but flourishing in the incredible heat of molten rock. This might be similar to animals who thrive in the tremendous heat found in the mineral-rich exhaust of the hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor. However, in the original Mapuche legend, the Shirufei is not a dragon, reptile, humanoid, or similar creature, and its description is based on a later mistaken interpretation of the myth. A variation of the Shirufei called the Red Shirufei appears in the New Brighton Archaeological Society graphic novel. It looks pretty cool, to be fair.
Yeah.
I just want a cryptid, a monster with easy words.
Yeah. Paul the cryptid.
Huh?
Paul
Yeah,
the cryptid.
exactly. Right, let's go to New Jersey for the Gator Man. Hopefully this is going to be fucking easy. His first sight was in 1973. The last sight was in 1977. Not much known is about the elusive New Jersey Gator Man. We do know that the summer of 1973, the residents of New Jersey's Newton Lafayette area were plagued by what eyewitnesses describe a large humanoid alligator. And if you remember, ages ago when we done the Makale Mbembe Kasai Rex episode, they said it was more likely that the Kasai Rex was
a giant,
was a humanoid crocodilian than it was an existing species of a theropod dinosaur. Like, that's just mad. So basically, it's more likely we're going to get fucking crocodiles and alligators running at us like on two legs before we get Jurassic Park. Take that what you will. A local journalist who covered the story compared the creature to an enduring Native American legend about a giant man-sized fish that could never be caught. Perhaps what makes the New Jersey Gator Man stand out the most amongst the other lizard men is the fact that its existence was publicly acknowledged by a state employee. Young men from the tribe Kaningara make crocodile armor in their body by a ritual where they get scars that look like a crocodile's armor. However, this is probably just a coincidence. The statement came in 1977 when New York City conservation naturalist Alfred Holstruck reported that the state's southern tier was the apparent home of a scaled, man-like creature which appears at dusk from the red algae-infested waters to forage among the fern and moss-covered uplands. Although this is the only official comment in relation to the New Jersey Gator Man, the simple fact that a city official publicly acknowledged the creature's existence says something for its credibility.
Yeah, it's a bit mad.
Yeah. There's no physical evidence of the New Jersey Gator Man has ever been brought to light. However, eyewitnesses reports and a public acknowledgement from the city official vote well for the existence of this creature.
You're getting everyone messages.
During the summer of 1973, multiple people saw a humanoid alligator. The Gator Man could have been an unknown species of a large alligator, or perhaps an evolved dinosaur of Plisticampus rollinati. Right. So from Kasai Rex being more likely to be a humanoid alligator, a crocodile, now they're saying that actually the Gator Man it could be a dinosaur.
Make your mind up. Which one is it?
You're pulling me from pillar to post. It's just, I just want one of them to be real. That'd do me. Oh dear. I'm pretty sure there's a Florida alligator man. It wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't shock me at all.
Actually,
I've got everything.
let me just have a look quickly. Florida.
Thing is, that will probably just come up with somebody who like wrestles alligators.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, more than likely. Oh, right now.
What was the first one?
First one, deputies fatally shoot Florida man.
Oh God! He survived an alligator. Poor guy.
Hang on.
Fuck!
Jeez.
Poor geezer's just been savaged by a gator and then just shot. Like, nah, have it. Gator didn't finish the job.
I'm sure there was one Yeah, Gator Man. Hang on. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there is one to do with Florida, but for some reason it's just like New Jersey, which is rare because when you think of like alligators in America, you do
think Florida.
You do think Florida.
Yeah, it's riddled with them.
That and Louisiana. I always think Louisiana as well with alligators. Yeah, we'll cover the Loveland frogman. And it's surprising. It seems like in recent history, that, I mean, I'm not saying it's been seen, but that people have really come to love it.
What, the frogman?
Yeah. Apparently, that's how big.
Oh, no.
That's how big he is next to a person.
That picture.
Yeah,
No.
that's not the best. Oh, there was a sighting in 2016. So not that long ago. The Loveland frogmen, also known as Loveland lizards, are cryptids who derive their name from the area they inhabit near Loveland, Ohio. The creatures themselves have been sighted in Claremont County. The Loveland frog has had 4 sightings, one in 1955, 2 in 1972, and 1 in 2016. The 2016 sighting has video evidence associated with it, but is likely a hoax due to its location in a city.
Oh, okay.
The Loveland frogmen are reportedly bipedal frogs. This would make them the only species of frog that is bipedal.
Yep.
Thing is, you imagine, like, say you're at night, like it's at night, and you're walking along the river for some whatever reason, you fancy a walk, and here we hear flap, slap, 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 and you turn around, and there's this 4-foot fucking frog, like just running at you. That is getting volleyed.
Too right. You're ringing your mate up. Boy, you never guess what? What? It's a fucking crazy frog just trying to do me in.
Honestly, if it comes to it, it will run at me. I'm going to kick it up, chest it, bang.
I can just picture it now.
Yeah, but like quick, like slap, 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 slap. And you just said you're in a world of your own. And you just think, what the fuck is that? And you just look and just. That is getting a right hook of death.
Too right. Oh God.
I kind of want it to be real now.
Yeah, so do
I really want that to be real now. The Loveland frogmen are bipedal frogs, as made evident due to their leathery skin as well as their webbed hands and feet. The creatures have frog-like heads with wrinkly skin on top of them. They are about 1 metre tall. 1 metre tall frog slapping its feet. Ribbit. That'd have a right low ribbit as well, wouldn't it? Yeah.
No, lower than that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
It'd be like guttural.
No, I can't do it.
God, you could throw up. The Loveland frog is known to live in Claremont County, Ohio. The creature lives in a temperate forest and is able to survive the cold winters of the region without having to hibernate, which is unlike frogs.
Yep.
So
it's already
getting holes. It's already getting holes. But then again, it's so fucking big. But bears hibernate.
True.
I know that it's different. They're amphibians, but
yeah.
If large animals have to hibernate, why not?
Froggy boy.
Yeah. The frogmen apparently have the physical ability to use sticks like tools. However, they also have an ability as they can use those sticks to emit sparks like a wand. This could mean that frogs have an ability to control electricity in some way.
So go back to that thing. Matey boy's walking down the river and he's running behind him. He turns around and he's like, expect a Patron! Oh, fucking
If there's a cryptid I want to be real now, it is that.
It's the Frogman. Pick up the Frogman. I love him.
Yeah. We're going to need to get a big picture.
A giant Frogman.
Yeah. These amphibious anomalies have shocked and terrified businessmen, farmers, and police officers. Terrified them. Have they really? It's a metre-tall frog, mate. Look how long its tongue is.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, big boy tongue. Girls, if you're out there.
Some guys as well.
Yeah.
Wrap him up. Oh. Hang on, I need to have a minute there. It's disgraceful. Yeah. And remain one of the most intriguing cryptozoological mysteries in the United States. I bet it does. One of the most intriguing cases encountered is that the Loveland frogmen, or Loveland lizards, the story of these unique creatures begin in May of 1955 on a lonely stretch of road that runs along the Miami River in Clermont County.
We called it. We called it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Just on the outskirts of a small town known as Loveland, Ohio. At approximately 3:30 a.m., a businessman named Robert Honeycott claimed to have witnessed 3 bipedal quasi-reptilian entities congregating by the side of the road. They're a gang.
Who's this guy? Hey, give us your money, blood. Don't make me a vodka cadaver your ass.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Tony, get the stick. The man pulled his car to the curb and observed these 3 creatures for what he estimated to be about 3 minutes.
Oh, God.
Is that the sketch?
What the fuck is that? What is that? It looks like, you know, South Park's depiction of the Canadians.
Yeah.
It looks like that. Oh, that is amazing.
Right, I've saved the image. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it'll be
here. During this time, he noticed that these strange beings stood between 3 to 4 foot tall, were covered in grey leathery skin, and had webbed hands and feet. Their most distinguishing characteristics, however, was their distinctly frog-like heads.
God, what frog-like fucking
I've seen a few frogs in my time. But from this image...
If a frog ever had that face...
But then again, could you imagine being like the sketch artist? And he's trying to tell you... He had been able to see this because he had tears coming out of his eyes laughing. Right. Which the man claimed wore deep wrinkles where their hair should have been. Just as the man was about to steal away, one of the creatures...
Oh no.
Suddenly held what the witness could only describe as a wand above its head. The anonymous source further claimed that sparks spewed out of the end of this device, and he left post haste.
We actually called it.
He called it a wand.
It was a frog by a river, and he actually tried to... Oh my fucking God. America, I fucking love you, man.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
Thus begins the bizarre legend of the Loveland Frogman. This tale would be fascinating enough if it ended there.
Oh no, there's more.
But the 2 most significant encounters in this case, and indeed 2 of the most significant encounters in the annals of cryptozoology, were yet to come. At about 1 a.m. on March 3rd, 1972, nearly 17 years after the first report, a police officer who chose to be anonymous...
I wonder why.
was travelling along the Riverside Road, heading towards Loveland, when he saw something that would forever change his life.
Oh God.
The officer claimed that he was driving slowly due to the substantial amount of ice on the road when he saw what looked like a dog by the curb. Suddenly, I'll just see the bit of a picture. Suddenly, the animal darted in front of the cruiser, forcing the officer to slam on the brakes in order to avoid a potential collision with the creature. Once the police cruiser came to a halt, its headlights fell upon the prone animal. At this point, the officer described something that seems literally too bizarre to be true.
Oh no.
In the span of seconds, this crouched, frog-like creature stood on two legs, stared back at the policeman, then scrambled over the guardrail and scurried down the embankment, finally disappearing into the Ohio River. And the artist's sketch will be here. It looks more like a pig.
Oh my God.
The officer in question described the creature as being 3 to 4 feet tall and weighing in the area of 50 to 75 pounds. He also claimed that its skin had a leathery texture and that the animal's features resembled those of a frog or lizard. Another officer investigated the scene later that evening. He saw no sign of the creature, but reported that there are distinct scratch marks on the guardrail where the animal perfectly crossed. The second sighting occurred 2 weeks later, when police officer Mark Matthews, he actually
used his brain name,
had an encounter of his own. According to the report, Officer Matthews, while driving into Loveland, spotted what he believed to be an injured animal lying on the pavement. Matthews climbed out of his cruiser with the intention of removing the carcass from the already ice-slicked road, when the creature abruptly lurched upwards in a crouched position. Taken back by the frogman's reptilian visage, Matthews unholstered his revolver and took a shot at the creature, which then proceeded to hobble over to the side of the road and step over the guardrail, all the while keeping a watchful eye on the trigger-happy officer. Matthews' frogman matched the first officer's description down to the last detail, with the exception of a tail, which was absent in earlier reports. Oh, that's from the footage from 2016. Is it? To be fair, that would be quite terrifying.
That would be quite terrifying, but after everything we've read.
Yeah. I couldn't ever take it serious.
No!
It could have razor sharp teeth and I'd still laugh at its face.
Fucking hell.
In the years which have followed these events, Officer Matthews has...
What? Renegade?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhat on his tail. He now claims that the animal in question was nothing more than a large reptile, which escaped from its owner. He further insists that the only reason he shot at the creature was to help confirm a fellow officer's story.
Bollocks!
A story which was, of course, being met with predictable scepticism by their superiors. Whether or not Matthew's change of heart was inspired by ridicule or the faded memory of an event he was 30 years removed from the fact remains that his own testimony counter-indicates his later retraction. In 2001, email interview in a 2001 email interview, Officer Mark Matthews, now retired, explained that the incident was habitually blown out of proportion. He stated that it was and is no monster. It was not leathery or had wet matted fur. It was not 3 to 5 foot tall. It did not stand erect. The animal I saw was obviously some type of lizard that someone had as a pet and either got too large for its tank, escaped by accident, or they simply got tired of it. It was less than 3 feet in length, ran across the road, and was probably blinded by my headlights. It presented no aggressive action. Matthews attempted to shoot the creature in order to back up the account of his partner's sightings a few nights prior. But the lizard escaped, most likely to die from its injury or from the bitter freezing cold. A frogman was spotted in mid-August 2016 by Sam Jacobs and his girlfriend while they were playing Pokemon Go in Cincinnati.
He literally found a real fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, because it's on the camera, isn't it? And you imagine you just walking along thinking, I'm looking for my Charizard. Is there a Pikachu here? And you look up, you're like, well, I don't recognise that one. And you're trying to fucking throw
the ball, and it's like, it's not working.
It's really
you
not
just
working.
look up,
And you think,
wait a minute.
Fuck, that looks real. And then, oh. But the location of the sighting cast doubt on its authenticity. There is a lack of precedented for a bipedal frog. Additionally, the frogmen live in Ohio, which is a very human-populated region of the United States of America. The creature is only known from one specific region, and there is seemingly no Native American folklore of this creature. There is no video evidence that did not come from a suspicious encounter, and the creature seems to have unusual, perhaps supernatural abilities. It has a wand. The fucking thing's a magician. What? It's a fucking two-legged frog with a wand.
Oh.
While there are no known bipedal frogs in nature, it is also possible that these frog species often rest in a position with only their hind legs on the ground. You see in the video, like it's a picture of like the frog and it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
They can sit up for some reason, but
oh fucking hell!
Make them look bipedal. It is very unlikely for a frog species to have the intelligence necessary for tool use, but somewhat more likely that the Loveland frogmen are a frog species intelligent enough to collect objects, possibly to create a structure to live in, or as a maintenance place, similar to some bird species.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of it like that, it don't sound too mad.
No.
When you say there's fucking wands, sparks coming out of it.
Froggy Potter running
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh, big up the frogman.
I think that's one of the best ones.
Yeah. What a hero.
Yeah. I've got to do the lizard man escape or swamp quickly, and then we'll get on to yours.
Okay. Oh, mate, my ribs are actually hurt.
Right, so yeah, the lizard man escape or swamp, which is probably the most, apart from the frogman, is probably the most well-known documented case of a lizard man,
right,
a creature. The lizard man of Scape or Swamp, also known as the lizard man of Lee County, is a cryptid said to inhabit the swampland of Bishopville, South Carolina. First sighted in the late 1980s, and its last sight was in 2011.
Right.
The perfect sightings and damage attributed to the creature yielded a significant amount of newspaper, radio, and television publicity.
Oh, fucking hell.
Many theories have been presented in relation to the identity of lizard men. Theories such as living dinosaurs and even offshoots of evolution in which the reptilian hierarchy continued to evolve along the same path as early primates. At one point in time, reptiles ruled the earth, which we know were dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It is not out of the realm of possibility that the most dominant species on the planet could continue to evolve in small numbers unseen by mankind. Although known reptilian species known to man have shown signs of such advanced evolution, the reptiles are the oldest and most successful group of species on the planet. Wrong, it's fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, it's fish. Like sharks.
Yeah.
Let's say they're older than bones. They're older than trees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're older than the mountains.
They're definitely second.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Would birds be second?
No.
No?
Because birds came from reptiles.
True, yeah.
and it could hold secrets that have yet to come to light. In Lee County, South Carolina, a strange reptilian humanoid was reported on several occasions. The Creek were a Native American confederacy forming the largest division of the Muscoegan family, primarily in Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. They received their name from the English on account of the numerous streams in their country. According to the Myths and Tales of the Southeastern Indians by John Reed Swanton in 1929, the Creek encountered a human-sized lizard monster in the area. Several Indians were out together and formed a hunting camp. A hunter came back one evening and said, "I have found a big bear tree." He told the rest of the hunters, and they said to one another, "Tomorrow morning we will set out, build a fire there, and smoke the she-bear out so we can see her." They slept, and the next day started off and came to the place where they got to where the big tree stood. It looked as if something lived in there. And they said to one another, "A bear surely lives here." So they started a fire under it. The smoke filled up the hollow inside, and soon a giant lizard man came out. The people saw it and ran away. The big lizard jumped out and gave chase. It ran along till it caught one of them and came back with him. It came with him to the big tree and threw him down into it. Then it chased another and did the same in turn.
Mm-hmm.
Overtook, caught, and brought him back. Only one was left. It chased him, and after it had gone a long distance, overtook him and brought him back. When it was coming through a place where the trees were thick, a tiger or a panther was lying asleep in it. When the big lizard got there with the man, the panther awoke and jumped upon it. The lizard let the man go and jumped upon the panther in turn, and they began to fight. The man saw this, jumped up and ran away. Of the people who had gone far away from their homes to hunt, only one came back. He told his people how the big lizard had killed all the others. So if it is real, it's fucking predator.
Yeah.
It is a beast. The first modern reported sighting of the creature was made by George Holliman Jr. in the fall of 1987. But it was the report of Christopher Davis, a 17-year-old local man, that made the lizard man famous. Then again, you already had like creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Gilman. Davis said he encountered the creature while driving home from work at 2 a.m. on June 29, 1988. According to his account, Davis stopped on a road bordering Scape All Swamp in order to change a tyre, which he had blown out. When he was finishing up, he reported having heard a thumping noise from behind him, and having turned around to see the creature running towards him. Davis said the creature tried to grab at the car and then jumped on its roof as he tried to escape, clinging onto it as Davis swerved from side to side in an effort to throw it off. After he returned home, Davis' side view mirror was found to be badly damaged and scratch marks were found on the car's roof, though there was no other physical evidence of his encounter. I looked back and saw something running across the field towards me. It was about 25 yards away, and I saw red glowing eyes. I ran into the car, and as I locked it, the thing grabbed the door handle. I could see him from the neck down. The three big fingers, long black nails, and green rough skin. It was strong and angry. I looked in my mirror and saw a blur of green running. I could see his toes, and then he jumped on the roof of my car. I thought I heard a grunt. Then I could see his fingers through the front windshield, where they curled round on the roof. I sped up and swerved to shake the creature off. In the month that followed the Davis sighting, there were several further reports of a large lizard-like creature, and of unusual scratches and bite marks found on cars parked close to the swamp. Most of these are said to have occurred within a 3-mile radius of the swamps of Bishopville. At the time, local law enforcement officials reacted to reports of the lizard man with a mixture of concern and scepticism, stating that a sufficient number of sightings have been made by apparently reliable people, and for them to believe that something tangible was being seen, but also it was more likely to be a bear than a lizard man. 2 weeks after the Davis sighting, the Sheriff's Department made several plaster casts of what appeared to be three-toed footprints, measuring some 14 inches, which is 360 millimeters, in length, but decided against sending them on to the FBI for further analysis after biologists advised them that they were unclassifiable, according to the South Carolina Marine Resources Department spokesperson Johnny Evans. The tracks neither matched nor could be mistaken for the footprints of any recorded animal. Evans also dismissed the possibility that they could have been made by some form of mutated creature. The sightings attracted tourists interested in seeing the creature, and hunters interested in tracking it. A nearby radio station, WCOS, offered $1 million reward to anybody who could capture the creature alive.
Fucking hell.
However, reports of the creature began to decline at the end of the summer, with the last credible sighting of the year being reported in July. On August 5th, Kenneth Orr, an airman stationed at Shaw Air Force Base, filed a report with the police saying that he had encountered the lizard man on Highway 15 and that he had shot and wounded it. He presented several scales and a small quantity of blood as evidence. Orr recanted this account 2 days later when he was arraigned for unlawfully carrying a pistol and the misdemeanor offence of filing a false police report. According to Orr, he had invented the sighting in order to keep the stories about the lizard man in circulation.
Commitment.
I might be going down a fucking rabbit hole, but I might have a theory. Other sightings. The lizard man of Scape Ore Swamp is said to inhabit areas of swampland in and around Lee County, South Carolina, along with the sewers in towns near the swamp.
Okay.
My theory is, with a lot of these, with frogmen, lizard man of Scape Ore, and not just lizard men, but like a lot of cryptids in general, like weird stuff. They make their report to the police. They either have their name there. I know some of them are like anonymous. Yeah, but there's a lot with their names, and it's always the ones with the names that recant it. And a lot of the time, it's probably due to ridicule and stuff. Because you imagine you're walking about town and people are like,
"That's a dickhead who made a lizard man." Yeah,
who's seen a lizard man.
Yeah,
righto. But with these UFOs especially, there's a group of people that are very synonymous with this kind of thing. That's the Men in Black. And have we actually done a Men in Black episode?
No, we haven't.
But the Men in Black are known. When people have met them, because, say to have met them. Yeah. I mean, there's been people, you see the CCTV.
Yeah.
They all look the same. They look exactly the same kind of people, but there's something off with them. And a lot of the time, it's like you saw nothing, and you will say you saw nothing, or something's going to happen to you. Yeah, and people have been scared, and there's people that have gone missing after seeing stuff. Yeah. So could it be old matey boy? He shot and wounded the lizard man. Did do that. Gave him the evidence, the blood, and the scales, and then it's like, oh fuck.
He's onto something here, and then they've come and gone, keep your gosh shut.
They've turned up like, you didn't see that.
Maybe. Very well, maybe.
It's going to be a lot easier for you if you recant. And take a misdemeanor. Yeah.
Maybe take like a paycheck, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let us say, I could be going down a fucking rabbit hole. Yeah. And he probably did just fucking...
shoot an iguana, but...
Yeah. But you just don't know. No. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it.
You really don't know.
That is the beauty of it. But, like... a bipedal lizard. Like, say a monitor lizard.
Yeah. Nah, the only way it could work is if it's using its tail to help itself stand up.
Which Komodo dragons do.
Yeah. But not for long, obviously, because
No.
obviously the weight of them, it just brings them back down. 9 times out of 10, it's when they're scrapping another one.
Yeah. But like you said, reptiles have been on this earth for millions and millions and millions of years. Could a small portion have evolved into going bipedal? Because we said before, like with werewolves and stuff, like with dogmen and stuff, like when humans became more
The dominant,
advanced, it was because they were bipedal.
Yeah.
It was because they, how they could run, how they could hunt, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we said, like with dogmen, like for them to, because it's similar size or whatever, they had to evolve into
in
that
some
way
to survive.
To survive. Because it's all about like the region as well, like where they
your
where
climate
they are.
and everything takes into consideration and all that.
Because I imagine a lot of people, like especially like with dogmen now, but like why aren't all wolves like that? It's because of the region where the other wolves are, they don't need to do that. But further down, as humans and these are like not living in harmony, but competing,
coexisting together.
They've had to go that route, which it don't happen overnight.
No, of course
this
not.
Is over. How long have humans been alive?
Well, fuck knows.
Say, I don't know. Say 100,000 years.
Yeah,
100,000 years of evolution. From discovering fire to launching rockets to space.
Yeah, exactly.
Could it be as well from being on 4 legs to 2 legs?
Maybe. Like you said, you just never know. That's the problem.
No, that's the thing. It is very difficult to get your head around and actually make sense of it. I get that, and there's a lot of people out there who would be like, I just can't see it.
Can't see it.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. You can't, I just think it just don't sound so far fetched.
No, we've covered some way more far fetched stuff than that.
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, with animals we know of, like echolocation,
sonar and
that animals with 6 senses, instead of the normal 5.
Why can't there be a frog that knows spells?
Exactly. there's fucking spiders there that actually cast nets.
Yeah.
The ogre face spider.
Yeah.
He uses 4 of its legs and it makes a net and
Catches its prey.
So, and it's using tools. Chimps, they've been known to use tools.
Yeah.
Sea otters, they use rocks to beat up shells. Do you know what I mean?
Building dams.
Yeah. It's just...
Yeah. It's like you said, it's not completely far-fetched.
No, I don't believe
it's still mind-boggling,
obviously,
but it's like, it's not the most bizarre thing you're going to hear.
No, exactly. But, especially out of what we're going to hear from you.
Yeah. Which is on a whole nother plethora of just madness. Right, so obviously, like I said earlier, there is a conspiracy theory that there are reptiles among us, like reptile people, and like reptiles disguising themselves as people, and all sorts of shit. So, reptilians, also called reptoids, archons, reptilioids, saurians, draconians, or lizard people, are supposed reptilian humanoids which play a prominent role in fantasy, science fiction, ufology, and conspiracy theories.
Because can you remember? Sorry to cut you off.
You're right.
But can you remember when we done the Dragons episode with Paige?
Yeah.
And it was the Hollow Earth theory.
Yeah.
Saying about how dragons could
come through like there and
come through the Hollow Earth. I hear that a lot with reptilian people.
Yeah.
That they actually live in the centre of the Earth.
The idea of reptilians was popularised by David Icke, a conspiracy theorist who claims shape-shifting reptilian aliens control the Earth. Now, David Icke, I have mentioned before on the 9/11 podcast.
He's fucking mental.
Yeah, because he literally is just go listen to some of his stuff and you'll know exactly what I mean. They control the Earth by taking on human form and gaining political power to manipulate human societies. Icke has stated on multiple occasions that many world leaders were or are possessed by the so-called reptilians. Some conspiracy theorists opposing the extraterrestrial hypotheses claim that they either come from the Draco constellation or the Orion constellation, or are allies of the nefarious extraterrestrials from the Orion constellation. Michael Barkan, a professor of political science at Syracuse University, persists that the idea of a reptilian conspiracy originated in the fiction of the Conan the Barbarian creator Robert E. Howard in his story The Shadow Kingdom, published in Weird Tales in August 1929. The story drew on the theosophical ideas of the lost worlds of Atlantis and Lemuria, particularly Helena Blavatsky's... Mate, just have normal names, please. Helena Blavatsky's The Secret Doctrine, written in 1888, with its reference to dragon men, who once had a mighty civilization on the Lemurian continent. Howard's serpent men were described as humanoids who were able to imitate humans at will and who lived underground in the underground passages and used their shape-shifting and mind control abilities to infiltrate humanity. In the 1940s, American occultist Maurice Doreal wrote a pamphlet entitled Mysteries of the Go-By that described a serpent race with bodies like man but heads like a great snake, and ability to take on human form. These creatures also appeared in Doreal's poem The Emerald Tablets, in which he referred to the Emerald Tablets written by Thoth and Antlian Priest King. Barkin asserts that in all likelihood Doreal's ideas came from the Shadow Kingdom, and that in turn the Emerald Tablets formed the basis for David Icke's book Children of the Matrix. Right. Alien abduction narratives sometimes align alleged contacts with reptilian creatures. One of the earliest reports was that of the Ashland, Nebraska police officer Herbert Schirmer, who under hypnosis recalled being taken by a UFO in 1967 by humanoid beings with slightly reptilian appearance, who wore a winged serpent emblem on the left side of their chest. Skeptics consider his claim to be a hoax. According to British conspiracy theorist David Icke, who first published on this theme in his 1999 work The Biggest Secret, tall blood drinking shape-shifting reptilian humanoids from the Alpha Draconis star system now hiding in underbases are the force behind a worldwide conspiracy against humanity. He contends that most of the world's ancient and modern leaders are related to these reptilians, including the Merovingian dynasty, the Rothschilds, the Bush family, and the British royal family. Icke's conspiracy theories now have supporters in up to 47 countries, and he has been giving lectures to crowds of up to 6,000 people.
Jesus Christ.
American writer Vicky Santillano included Icke's conspiracy theory in her list of the 10 most popular conspiracy theorists. A poll of Americans in 2013 by Public Policy Polling indicated that 4% of registered voters believed in David Icke's ideas. On September 12, 2003, during the provincial election campaign in Ontario, Canada, the Ernie Eves campaign issued a news release that called upon Dalton McGuinty, an evil reptilian kitten eater from another planet.
What kittens?
The words appeared at the end of the news release. Eves said the effort was meant as a joke and acknowledged the words were over the top but refused to apologise. In a closely fought 2008 US Senate election in Minnesota between comedian and commentator Al Franken and incumbent Senator Norm Coleman, one of the ballots challenged by Coleman included a vote for Franken with lizard people written in the space provided for write-in candidates. Lucas Davenport, who later claimed to have written the gag ballot, said, "I don't know if you heard the conspiracy theory about the lizard men. A friend of mine, we didn't like the candidates, so we were first going to write in revolution because we thought that was good and to the point. And then we thought the lizard people would be even funnier." Franken won the election after a recount. I don't know. In February 2011, on the Opie and Anthony radio show, the comedian Louis C.K. jokingly asked former US Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld a number of times if he and Dick Cheney were lizard people. Now, Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney also were linked to 9/11. They was also like part of the Bush administration and all of that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, asked if they were lizard people who enjoyed the taste of human flesh. Amused by Rumsfeld's refusal to directly answer the question, CK suggested it was a possible admission of guilt. He went on to further muse that perhaps those who are lizard people cannot lie about it. When asked if they were lizards, they either had to avoid the question or say yes. On March 4th, 2013, a video depicting a security agent with unusual features guarding a speech by US President Barack Obama was spotlighted as a wired report about shape-shifting reptilian humanoids. This led to a tongue-in-cheek response from the National Chief Security Council spokesperson Caitlin Hayden, who said any alleged program to guard the president with aliens or robots would likely have to be scaled back or eliminated in the sequester. In October 2022, Dutch MP Thierry Baudet, head of the far-right Forum for Democracy, said in an interview with the Geopolitics and Empire podcast, he believes that the world is being governed by evil reptiles. So even the far-right are on it. So Tommy Robertson, he's a reptile. Some adherents to the QAnon conspiracy theory, they have also borrowed from the reptilian conspiracy theory, including elements of the anti-Semitism conspiracy theories. North Korea's Korean Central Agency used the theory to claim that other non-North Korean media were reptile. These lot will use anything.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Right, where is it? I see something earlier and I was happy in tears.
Because he's seen like people put like videos on YouTube or something, and it was like, so I think I saw one. It was of the Queen.
Yeah,
and how she was like blinking, and there was like one blink. She had like a really weird, like it was like dark, like reptilian eye.
Right.
She blinked again. It was normal.
It is normal.
It's like, oh, come on now,
It's
come
just not,
on
is
now.
it? Come on. Here we go. Right. The world ruled by lizard people fantasy shot to prominence in recent years, in part through the ramblings of David Icke, a popular British sports reporter turned conspiracy theorist known for his eccentric ideas.
That's all they are, ramblings.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think there's a possibility that lizards have somehow walking on two legs. I don't think that they're actually masking themselves as people and taking over the fucking planet.
Icke would have you believe that the race of reptilian beings not only invaded Earth, but that they also created a genetically modified lizard-human hybrid called the Babylonian Brotherhood, which he maintains is busy plotting a worldwide fascist state. This sinister cabal of global reptilian elite boasts a membership list including former President Barack Obama, Queen Elizabeth II, former Federal Reserve agent Alan Greenspan, and Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger I could get behind.
But of all them names, and then you just add Mick Jagger in there.
To be honest, all of the Rolling Stones. Because them fuckers have been going on since the 1830s. And they're still going. Like, it's kind of fair. Reptiles are known to live hundreds of years.
It's just, who's in it then? Barack Obama. Oh, former US president. That's mad. Who else? The Queen. Oh, fucking up. The Queen of England. Oh, my days. Who else? Mick Jagger. Yeah, Mick fucking Jagger.
But,
oh, mate.
Because what got me like quite interested, there's a show on Disney Plus called Out There.
Right.
And it's like crimes of the paranormal.
Yeah.
And it's like different episodes. There was one about lizard people. It was of this man. What's his name? Anthony Quinn Warner, who at the time was with a girl, with a woman, older people, and they were walking in the woods. And he said that he's met a lizard person, a woman, and she said how she was gonna create this race and everything like that. It got to the point. Hang on, where is it? That on December 25th, so Christmas Day of 2020, Anthony Quinn Warner detonated a recreational vehicle, like an RV, bomb in downtown Nashville, Tennessee, United States, killing only himself and injuring 8 others, damaging dozens of buildings in the surrounding area.
Fucking hell.
The incident took place at 166 2nd Avenue North between Church Street and Commerce Street at 6:30 a.m., adjacent to the AT&T network facility, resulting in days-long communication service outages.
Mhm.
Sorry, but so I mean, look at him. He looks a bit mental.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of him. All right, hang on. Where do we go now? Warner is also believed to have spent time hunting for alien life forms in a nearby state park. The FBI said prior to the bombing, he sent materials which espoused his viewpoints to several acquaintances throughout the country. The packages, which FBI investigated, included writings in which he expresses himself in belief in 9/11 conspiracy theories, moon landing conspiracy theories, and the reptilian conspiracy theory. He also referenced a UFO conspiracy theory in which space aliens had purposely begun to attack Earth on September 2011, which was covered up by the media. He wrote in part, "Everything is an illusion. There is no such thing as death." One of the recipients of the letter provided a copy of Nashville's WTVF News Channel 5, but the outlet decided not to publish it in full to avoid giving Warner unnecessary notoriety. On March 15th, 2021, investigators eventually came to the conclusion that Warner had acted alone, because this is the thing, they arrested her as well,
Right.
at the time, like, they were, well, I think they split up by then, but he kept trying to talk to her,
Right.
so they arrested her as well, but then it came out that he was alone. He acted alone in the bombing, and that the bombing was not connected to terrorism. The bombing was a result of wanting to end his own life, driven by life stresses. It was also fueled by paranoia, conspiracy theories, and the deterioration of interpersonal relationships.
Jesus Christ.
Warner picked the area to make an impact on the city, while also trying to minimise injury. The FBI also stated that there was no evidence of Warner wanting to bring social or political change, or that any person or business was specifically targeted.
He wanted to minimise injury, so he decided to use a fucking bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, actually, I'm just going to search this. Anthony Quinn. Because this reptile woman had a name and everything. Honestly, you want to watch it. It's really good.
Yeah.
That episode, I was really interested in it. Oh, I think it's...
That's the same one I was just on, yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know.
With a man like Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Of all the names.
Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah, and what's interesting is people. Oh, fuck it.
Oof.
But yeah, honestly, if you want to know more about it, make sure to go on Disney Plus if you've got it, and search up out there like Crimes of the Paranormal. It's really good. It's stuff. I think I'll still need to finish it. I haven't finished it all, but it's got some really good ones on.
Yeah.
But so
That was just a whirlwind of emotions.
He really is, isn't it? Like, I mean, the Lizardman escape all is just seems that little bit credible to me because it's actually damaged cars.
Yeah.
And everything. I think there is a picture of the car that was damaged,
right?
And you can see quite clearly something was
clawing at it.
But like, was it a lizard man? Was it a bear? Was it a low tree, like a low branch? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, weren't there? Can't ever say. But I don't know. It just seems cool.
Yeah,
I like the idea of it.
I just want Frogman to be alive, to exist. If there's a magic frogman out there, mate, big up the frogman.
Flop, 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 flop. Expecto Patronum.
Welcome to the newest member of Hogwarts, Crazy Frog.
Yeah, crazy frog. But no, I think that's about done. Isn't
Yeah.
it? It's just mad though, like how using like reptilians could be an animal, it could be this superior race, and it's got to the point where it's actually caused people to do crime
Yeah.
and even kill themselves over it.
Yeah. It's just a fucking madness.
That's what I mean. Like that's why like people like David Icke and that like are scary people in a way, because
They can influence people to do this sort of
they
shit.
can influence their lives by how they speak.
Yeah.
And it's like that of anything, like with politics or whatever. We don't do politics. Fuck
No.
that. Everyone's got their own things,
Opinions,
so whatever.
Yeah.
But like when you hear stuff like that about like reptilians, the Hollow Earth, you know,
All
stuff
that
like
sort of stuff.
and then it's fear mongering.
Yeah.
It's creating that fear in like it obviously like very, what's the word? Not like easily manipulated.
Yeah.
Like vulnerable minds.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. Yeah.
who then start believing it, who then end up going down this rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm.
and it's terrifying.
Yeah, of course.
To think like we're all being controlled
Yeah.
by something that's not human. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Being controlled's bad enough, but by something that's apparently a lizard
Yeah.
or anything,
Anything.
it's just
And yes, and it even, and like I say, it caused someone to actually blow themselves
selves
up
up.
and injuring 8 other
Fucking
people.
mental.
Like you say, luckily not any
No one
other-
else died.
Yeah, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, but also like you say, because especially like with this month, it is like men's mental health month.
Yeah.
So yeah, just check up on your bro,
Mm-hmm.
check up on you on the boys. Just make sure everyone's all right.
Mm-hmm.
And if they start rambling about lizard people, just make
Just
sure.
just be a bit careful.
Just give them a hug and be like, "Don't worry, everything's all right. It's not as bad as you think." You know what I mean? But no, yeah, just make sure everyone's all right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it shouldn't just be classed in 1 month. Because what was it? It was like, it's like 200,000 men a year.
It's the biggest killer of men.
Is
When you think of all
suicide.
health issues and things like that are out there, and suicide is the biggest men's killer.
You know,
Fuck.
200,000 men a year. Let's say, like, and that's not, you know, like, it's just tragic.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying just with men, like with women, with, you know, with everyone.
Anyone, but
Especially in like today's climate and everything, it's just so hard just to
to
get out of
stay
bed in
sane.
the morning.
Yeah.
You know, like what's the point? I get like that sometimes. You know, everyone does.
Yeah.
But you know, just if you've got mates, always like friends or whatever, your partners, just always make sure that they're all right, because
You just never know
it's
what's
that
going on in
saying
their
as
mind.
well. I've heard it's like, I'd rather carry the tears on my shoulder than carry your
coffin.
casket.
Yeah.
You know, and that is true.
100%.
It is true. Like, you know, let's say that I'm alright. That's never going to happen to me. The only way I'm dying is on the last stand. So, so I'm good. But no, yeah, just make sure everyone's alright.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Cool, I got deep there. for
Yeah,
a
I
second.
did.
Jesus Christ. So, Josh, what are we doing next week?
Well, next week, I was thinking about it earlier. I thought, do you know what? If I'm going to continue on, not with the reptile side of it, but with like world leaders and that, I saw something on YouTube. I'm going to go obviously more depth in it. It's called Bohemian Grove, which is apparently this.
A song by Queen, isn't it?
It's apparently this place. I can't remember whereabouts it is, but there's this big carven statue of an owl, right, that apparently world leaders go to. But apparently it's a cover-up for a big world leaderist cult thing. Like, world leader satanic cults and all that sort of shit.
Dressing up
Yeah,
shit like that. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to delve into that, see what madness we can uncover there.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be sick. Oh.
So, yeah, let's see who's apparently involved, what the fuck they're doing, and how it all began.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can find.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be sick.
But no. So, Ed,
Yes.
where can they find us?
Well, you can follow us on Facebook, which is Missing Mysteries in Black and White. You can follow us on Instagram, which is Missing Mysteries _ not the word underscore, the actual underline thing. Oh, it gets me every time. You can follow us on TikTok, which is Missing Mysteries 10, like the number 10. You can follow us on X or Twitter, whatever. Elon Musk. What's the thing with Elon Musk?
Oh yeah, the one minute he was his best bum chum, and now they're at beef.
Yeah,
I don't actually know what it's all about.
They got right beef as well. But you know what is what it is. It's Missing Mysteries 1. You can follow, you can subscribe and like us on our YouTube channel, but due to algorithms, it is easier to find us on our socials. But that's Missing Mysteries. So that is, as well, you'll get to see our faces. Hello. You'll get to see us when we actually go on hunts of just me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like we ain't going to do as often anymore.
No, I don't. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah, just have to see what happens. But as well as that, like, that's where we do our reacts.
Mm-hmm.
And where we interview people when we eventually do it. But speaking of which, you can also email us, and that could be theories you've got. What are your theories on reptilian people? I hope there's someone out there who's going to email us because I want to hear them all.
Yeah.
If you know someone who thinks reptilian people are controlling this planet, or that they're just clever lizards, they're just all clever girls who got on their hind legs, let us know. So that is, so your theories. What would you like us to cover on this podcast? So could that be a cryptid, a UFO encounter, something paranormal, a serial killer, yada, 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 you know the drill. What criticisms of this episode, or any episode, what you haven't enjoyed, what you're not keen on. Praises, which we'd prefer. So what the opposite, what you did like, I guess. Merch, which Josh is actually wearing some today.
Yeah, but
why am I saying like you never do?
Yeah.
I never do. I'm sorry, I just love this hoodie.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, I'll be cremating this. But so merch. So we've got t-shirts and hoodies at the minute. If you want a collab with us in some way, so that could be an interview. If you want to go on a hunt with us, or anything like that, per se. I think that covers it.
Yeah.
And that is missingmysteries10 at gmail.com. missingmysteries10 at gmail.com. Make sure you get your emails in and let us know what's happening.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Yep.
Thank God for that. Josh, where can they listen to us?
Well, even though you already are, you fancy listening on another platform or all of them, you can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Podchaser, Player FM, and iHeartRadio.
Fantastic.
So, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching or listening, or both, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Happy hunting. Oh, you made a mess of yourself, mate.